There's a report on GBNews by Adam Cherry, and it's an exclusive report, and I was very entertained to be sent a link. And it's all about a property, 1 to 3 bedroom apartments in Farnborough, and they were. It's about a converted office block, and they've been converted into top-rate apartments. Of course, under GB News's report, these all become posh apartments. In fact, it's described as migrants to be housed in posh flats. Oh, I've given it away. So the idea is that instead of putting migrants in hotels, which Rishi Sunak announces has been reduced, they're now going to start putting migrants into posh flats, and rather secretly. So Rushmore Borough Council doesn't have any say in this issue, apparently. And this is in Farnborough, near Aldershot. And the rights of the Home Office supersede the rights of the council, and the Home Office apparently has simply requisitioned these flats. They've been withdrawn from the market, and anybody who rings up to try and rent one of these flats is rebuffed. And they're going to house 300 asylum seekers. GB News is, of course, delighted to be running with the story, and they talk about furniture and bedding being moved in, and lots of single bed mattresses being moved in, and nobody is actually drawing this conclusion. This means that the 50 hotels being no longer being used by the Home Office. All of this is a sort of ruse. This is smoke and mirrors. This is le gendarme. This is prestidigitation. This is this is all fake. There is only one way to move forward the migrants who are being housed in hotel accommodation at £8 million a day, and that is to process them. And the Home Office, as was admitted by Robert Jenrick, have been doing a deliberate go slow as a way to deter people from coming to this country. Well, they need to get off their backsides and actually do some real work, rather than going slow. The hostile environment since its inception has not worked. It was simply an excuse to down the tools and stop processing people's applications. And that doesn't work. That simply mounts up the problem. It leaves a lot of people who are genuinely in need and have genuinely turned to us for help in a sort of asylum limbo, in a migrant limbo, resented by people presumably in their own country, resented here. In what world is this the way to build a proper society? To have so many people frustrated at the way that we do business, and the contrast between the speed with which a country like Germany can process an asylum application in 6 months, and the fact that we have people waiting here for 3 years. People, for example, those who helped us in the war in Afghanistan, people who risked their lives in Afghanistan to support the British troops, left with promises broken by our government, left in limbo. And there's others left in Afghanistan who can't even get here. Promises broken. This is not the way to set up our international reputation in a post-Brexit world, that we are cheap and we don't keep our word, and that when you come to this country, you are kept in secure accommodation in Bibi Stockholm or in a hotel, because no matter what we promise, it means nothing. It means nothing, and we complain about you. Either we take migration, either we take asylum seriously, either we take the need for people to do the jobs that we can't do seriously, or I'm afraid we just shrug and give up and say, well, actually, we're a non-country. We don't recognise our international obligation, and we don't recognise our obligation to our own people. Shrug and do nothing. And sadly, by clinging on to power for the next year, Rishi Sunak has pretty well demonstrated that that's going to be the order of the day. Because a year-long election campaign, which is what is being started this January, is no recipe for getting serious work done. This is like a hiatus. And I groan with misery at the thought. A year of nothing.